Back from vacation and I feel like I've gained 5 kilograms. Is the audio okay? All right, cool. So in today's episode, we're going to be covering a pretty important topic for all of us content creators. We tend to fall into the mistake of taking too much gear with us every time we're on vacation. I personally am super guilty of this. It is just way too tempting when you've got a massive wide selection of lenses and cameras that you want to take with you to make sure that you're capturing the most amazing moment with the right kind of gear. So that's one of the mistakes that I've noticed I personally do, and I'm sure that if you have the option of selecting from let's say a variety of different lenses, you will find yourself that you would want to stuff everything in one bag and take it all with you. So let me tell you a big secret. Try to be as minimal as possible. Most of the time, we end up not using any of the lenses that we take with us. And I'm talking from personal experience. I just came back from vacation and I think I've had about like 4 to 5 lenses with me and I've ended up using one lens only. So, what's that sound? Just a small hiccup in the studio. It's fine. Going on vacation, the last thing you need is to be sitting there changing lenses and figuring out what you want to do with your gear, unless you're out there shooting a documentary and you're on a job. But if you're not, if you're just there to have fun, my rule number 1 is make sure you're present in the moment. Enjoy yourself and experience the place that you're in, because that's the most important thing that you're there for. And rule number 2 is try to figure out what kind of camera gear or lenses that you want to choose and give you that range whenever you're going out and capturing content. Stay away from primes if you are especially like going out and on the run. Prime lenses are amazing if you know what you want to get, and if mainly you're in a setup where you're sometimes working with other people or you don't have to walk 10 kilometers or whatever. So definitely stick to zoom lenses. You've got the 70-200 or the 15-35 is an amazing lens if you're kind of filming yourself as well. Gives you that wide angle. And there's also the 24-70 in the Sony range of lenses and camera gear. Keep it simple, keep it light. It's super important to feel like you want to pick up the camera and capture the content. A lot of the times I've also noticed that if the camera is too big, if you've got too much of a hassle kind of like carrying things around, sometimes you're just going to drop that bag at the hotel and never pick it up. And that's going to limit you from actually creating good content, from capturing good content. That's why the point and shoot cameras are pretty flexible and versatile when it comes to content creators, and the usability of it is very simple. So that's why we kind of tend to pick them up a lot more than picking up a big DSLR or even like a cinema camera maybe. But Stay simple, stay light, and think in a way that what makes you comfortable picking up that camera and creating content. And maybe don't focus too much about, whether it's 6K, 10-bit, or 6-bit, or whatever it is. If you decide that you don't want to pick up that camera and that camera stays in your hotel room or at home, then you've missed out on maybe capturing these amazing moments. So definitely think about what will make you feel more comfortable picking up that camera, and are you comfortable with the size of it? Are you comfortable with, the lens choice? And try to be as simple as possible. I've found out that whenever I've got the camera on a side sling and it's not in a bag, I'm prone to kind of like using it a lot more than having the camera in the bag. And if you are comfortable holding the camera in your hand, then definitely do that instead of just putting it in a bag. So just a few tips from my experience trying to literally hold a 10-kilogram bag walking around in Italy. I've realized that few things came in super handy. I mean, a stabilizer like this, super small, was great whenever we're going out and there was a bit rocky and I kind of wanted to get nice smooth shots. That was really cool to use, but also was pretty heavy. Luckily I could kind of manage the weight as we were going along, but we were on a 4-hour hike. So I'm not sure how comfortable you're going to be after 4 hours carrying all this gear. And, the last thing you're going to be thinking about is this shot cinematic? My hands are about to break, So just definitely think about that aspect and try to pick up the camera gear that you will use, because a lot of the times you could have the greatest and latest camera, which will shoot in 6K, 10-bit, RAW, everything you need. But is it something that you will feel comfortable picking up and using? Hope you guys took something from this episode. I wanted to keep these short, and very soon we're going to be creating a lot more where we kind of dive into the features of all of the cameras that we use here in the office, create production, and with the team. So thanks for tuning in. See you next time.